Good day. Welcome to the Pacific Mountain Regional Council. I am going to share some information with you today, and as we embark on the Truth and Reconciliation Day. One of the things I wanted to share with the Pacific Mountain Regional Council was one of the calls that we have from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Call 75 says, and I quote, "We call upon the federal government to work with provincial, territorial, and municipal governments, churches, Aboriginal communities, former residential school students, and current landowners to develop and implement strategies and procedures for the ongoing identification, documentation, and maintenance, commemoration, and protection of residential school cemeteries and other sites at which residential school children were buried. This is to include the provision of appropriate memorial ceremonies and commemorative markers to honor the deceased children." So as we embark on Truth and Reconciliation Day, let us think about what we as a church are called to do, what we as individuals are called to do. What does Truth and Reconciliation Day mean to you? My hope is that it would begin a dialogue, that we would begin learning about Indigenous issues, and really to learn about the unmarked graves and how we are going to respond as a united church to these events that are coming up. So what does the day mean to you? And for me, it is the beginning of reconciliation. It's the beginning of a long journey. It's the beginning of a pilgrimage to healing. So how do we heal the trauma? I think one of the ways that we begin is discussion, dialogue, communication, collaborating. Each of us are called, and each of us will respond in different ways. Some of us may need to reflect and meditate on what we're going to do. Others may have a clear direction of what we want to do. It'll be your own task to develop your insight, to develop your path. And I hope that you will lean on one another. I hope that you will seek for counseling, seek out contributions from other community members. Most of all, it'll be important to talk to the Indigenous people, talk to the elders, talk to the children, talk to the youth, talk to all of our community members. Beginning to dialogue will help us understand one another. And so as we reflect on this day, let us consider ways to support and donate. And one of the things that we're going to be doing here with Pacific Mountain is to produce some bookmarks. Pacific Mountain will be arranging the bookmarks to be made, and we're hoping that donations will be made to two significant groups: the Residential School Survivors Society. The other would be Indigenous Ministries, or the Thomas Crosby Fund here in the Pacific Mountain. I think these donations would go a long way to helping to heal the long-term effects of children in care. A few years ago, I gave a keynote to the University of Alberta at Banff Centre, and we were calling to raise awareness on children in care. So we need to be aware that the residential school events still echo. They still resonate with us today, and there are many children in care. So how do we begin to heal? What I'm going to ask for the Pacific Mountain is a call to action. Let's raise awareness. Let's light candles. Let's have a vigil. And let's raise donations for the survivors as well as children in care. We are requesting these donations for work on the unmarked graves and the work that we have to do in residential school communities. I hope that you will dialogue with your community and the Indigenous neighbors around you and look into your heart as to what you could give. Giving of yourself, your gifts, your donations, your time will be important as we journey on healing. Our prayer is that each of these communities will be protected by the Creator. We ask for special blessings for all those who do the work and are called to do the work with residential school survivors and victims and the unmarked graves. As we begin our interpretation of the calls to action, let us hope the Creator, that God, gives us revelation. And as we have revelation, let's hope that we are moved to action that heals ourselves and heals communities. May God be with you.